But tonight we are playing Final Fantasy II. Final Fantasy II is pretty fun so far. Last time we blew up the Death Star. That was basically most of it, I think. We basically were trying to get a way to blow up the Death Star, and then we blew up the Death Star. And now we're trying to get an army of dragons. So yeah, that's what we're working on right now. And we have a pirate lady. That is fair. Well, you also plan on playing all these games eventually too, right, Vanta? But to be fair, mostly you kind of can just half pay attention easily for this because it's gonna be a lot. Like, we're starting with the dungeon, so. I never know if people watch my VODs or not. Do I have? No, I have them on. Okay. I never know if people watch my VODs or not. Summer was like, I'm like, Summer, do you watch my VODs? And Summer's like, yeah, I watch all your VODs. And I'm like, okay. And then I listed them off and they didn't watch all my VODs. But, it's like, not that I need people to do comments. You don't need to. But it is hard for me to be like, okay, well, alright, are people actually watching? Is it even worth adding this? But, I mean, I'm getting some views on it. So clearly, you know, someone's watching. Otherwise, there would be no views. You should only watch the VODs of streams you don't care about. I thought you did get through Wargroove 2. Or maybe I know you got through your chapter at least. In your defense, that was stupid long. Like, arguably Dragon Quest IX was actually about the same this year, but like, it felt way longer trying to do... I think the problem with Wargroove and why I was getting annoyed a little bit with sessions of that was because if I if at any point I failed or didn't do things fast enough, I had like, but more so if I failed, I had to redo the entire mission. And also, once I started a chapter, I was pretty much locked in till I beat the chapter. And some of them went long, like, because there was no way to really predict how long Eric made the chapters or how long it would take me to get through them. The end result is that sometimes you think, oh yeah, I have enough time because otherwise it'd be ending early. And then you get stuck in this, like, slog of a chapter that is just not fun. You come across the remains of a dragoon. Something nearby on the ground catches your eye. You found a pendant. Was that it? Can I just leave then? Like, I mean, I can just go then, right? That's near the end. I mean, I think this means I can just leave the cave, but there's definitely more to this cave, so... I do wonder if some of the changes to this game is making it a bit easier than it would be. It probably is, honestly. I've heard that about the Final Fantasy. Oh, okay, we gotta kill this guy. I've heard that about Final Fantasy. No, this should be fine. I've heard that about Final Fantasy. Oh, that will not be fine. Ow. Okay, hang on. We got this. Heard about Final Fantasy 1 on the Pixel Remaster that it's much easier than you would think. mean, her attack, well... Possibly. I mean, specifically they said that we needed to get a pendant. And I got said pendant, so in theory I don't need anything else. But that's just a theory. Honestly, has I guess like what Barrett's the we were talking about this. Barrett's the first like colored, like the first different ethnicity. I guess besides like for party members, right? I guess unless you're counting. Well, I guess no. Isn't Minwu technically supposed to be like a different ethnicity? I think. Not that he's like an official party member. Why am I doing this now also? I need to be using magic. Persian, okay. Sword and knife is leveled up, which is good. Giant's helm. Well, I mean, pretty sure you have, yeah. There's no reason not to. What does this do exactly? Resist lag. I stole that right. So I want to give you the Giant's helm. Which I guess I should give you. You have a mithril helm, okay. I think I did give you stuff because there's no reason not to. Your cure's at 6. Your cure's at 5, so... Your guys' magic is kind of low, though. Yeah. He's also, like... like... At least in his portrait in the game, he's definitely like more gray than anything else. Like he's definitely not supposed to be, but he definitely comes across as more gray in color, I feel like. He is Ganondorf. Which I do think it probably has to do with like technical like limitations more than anything else, but alright. I am gonna go back, but I need to heal. Which I think I can heal. Can I heal here? Actually, I don't know. I don't know if there was a bed in here to rest. I mean, I guess I can just use... I think I have a tent. I think I can just, like... Cottage. That works. But, okay, so if I go... Now that I'm here, do I go and do I try the pendant? See what they say? Wish I can just regular save. Why am I trying to quick save? Quick save's only... Because you can only save on the map, so... The Wyvern's in there right now. For the lowestmost chamber of the cavern hold the life spring, the place the Wyverns use as a hatchery. So was he just gonna... He's probably gonna tell me to... We seek your aid in destroying the Empire, our common foe. Will you help us? The Empire's poison already courses through my veins. I will not escape the fate that befell my brood. Shortly before the Battle of the Empire, a dragoon named Richard set out to find the ultimate magic. Where he has gone, I do not know. I have one last request to make of you. Take this egg to the cavern north of here and submerge it in the life spring. It is the last remaining wyvern egg. If it is not submerged in the life spring soon, it will wither and die. Okay, so I did actually have to come back here. The egg, the last of the wyverns. Take it to the life spring, I beg you. Okay. Okay, so we need to now go hatch an egg. We can do that. What use is a baby going to be for? Like, technically, I know it's his last request, but, like, the baby's not going to be any help for our army. When has a baby ever turned the tides of war? So is anyone watching, I've heard Toy Story 5 is like, oh, it's good, and it's, you know, it's good, guys, and it's like, yeah, I don't care. Like, I'm so over the Toy Story series. I didn't care about 4, why would I care about 5? Like, there's so many other things I can be watching than watching them tell the same story again with a good ending, and then they just undo the ending again. It's so stupid. They've had, like, I assume 5 is gonna be the same thing, but they basically told the same story 5 times, different ways, and all ended the same. Oh no, Toy Story 6 has already been in the works for a while. They had that on the schedule, like, years ago. Yeah, but how many fated babies are there? There can't be that many. Okay, I got plenty of movies to watch. I gotta watch all the Ghibli movies, which I'm working on. And I probably still need to watch the One Piece movies I haven't watched. But we also have the Zombieland Saga movie just finally came out in English, which I was looking at it last night, and apparently I just missed that it came out recently. I don't know how I missed it. I think because I was looking at like anime like regular fans, and they were just like, it's only in Japanese, but it definitely isn't. Dub erasure is real. Yes. Final Fantasy II is that one. So, like, there's no levels in this game, but, like, using magic levels the magic, using swords levels up your sword. I honestly kind of like it. The one thing with the Pixel Remaster versus the original, from my understanding, is, like, so, like, how my HP went up there, though he could have got hit, but I think in the original, it only went up if you got hit. But here, I think you just will get some HP upgrades just by doing battles also. So the end result is, like, I don't know how bad it would have been in the original. I think regardless of how bad it would have been, I think it was probably overstated by people. Because here's the thing I said last time, is the amount of people who complained about Final Fantasy II as being the bad one, how many of them have actually played, like, apparently any of the changes that are in the Pixel Remaster were in the GBA one. So that means the only English release of Final Fantasy II that was like how it was on the NES, the Famicom. Granted, people could have emulated it, sure, but the only one that would have been identical to Famicom's, how it was made, was, I think, the one on PlayStation. So I kind of doubt that most of the people who are complaining have actually, like, even played. It's probably just one guy on YouTube, and then again, everyone just parroted their opinions, so. It's the whole thing of we said this last time, it's the whole thing of, oh, Spyro in Japan was the worst Spyro game ever. How could they do this? And it's like, you guys, this wasn't even for you. You didn't even play it. Like, what? Like, complaining about stuff that you didn't even experience. Like, more people should, like, play the games they complain about. But the thing is, they want to have an opinion. They want to be a part of the club, but they don't want to try to, you know, either take the time to play the game to form an opinion or figure out an opinion on their own. So they just take opinions from other people. I mean, I can tell you at least so far, it really hasn't been that much different than how I normally play the Final Fantasy games. Like, at least in the Pixel Remaster, people are like, oh, you have to hit yourself. No, you don't. Not at all. Like, the only thing is you can't, like, you don't want to necessarily always just attack. You want to make sure you're leveling up your magic occasionally. You want to make sure you're not switching weapon types because, like, if I switched to being Axe on anime, he would be, like, not strong with it because he's been using swords the whole time. So, I don't know if this is the right way or not. So, like, there's things to keep in mind for sure, but I think what's interesting about it is, so, like, for example, Guy is somebody who is always going to be, is naturally inclined to be just strong muscle man, and I'm going in that route, right? But if I wanted to, you could definitely, like, the game pushes you in that route, and if you were to get regular levels, your stats would probably grow in that way. But because you have the choice to, like, basically get your own stat ups for each aspect, if you wanted to make him a mage, you could make him a mage, and that's kind of cool. It's got some elements of that I really do appreciate. I think this is worse than this. Do I have... I think... Yeah, that's... I don't actually think this is better than anything I have. What's that noise? Someone's truck outside. But yeah, I don't think the combat... I mean, again, having played this, and I can't speak for the original, but at least for this version, I can tell you that you're not really... The combat flow doesn't really change much. Yes, I think that was brought up, that it's more like Western RPGs than JRPGs. It's very different for its time, and it's interesting to see how, like, 3 would take that element of, like all 1, 2, and 3 all seem to have elements of, like, building your own cast, but they go about it different ways. 3 takes that, and instead of having it be based on stats, it makes you have different classes. And then for 4, I guess they just kind of backtracked a bit on that, and before really fully experimenting with 5. Like, all the 2D ones are all kind of about how you build your party, in different ways you can build your party, until you get to 6. And at that point, they're like, okay, well, we're just going to actually have these characters all have these classes and stuff. I guess, like, the PlayStation era, they kind of also will do this thing where it's like any character can basically become the same character kind of thing, which I guess is the case here too, but in practice it's probably not going to be the case. Yeah. I haven't played 8. 9 has elements of... 9 takes it and it's like... You can learn... Like, some people can learn the same spells, but it really doesn't end up being that because of, like, there's still unique spells for each character. So 9 kind of, like, bucks the trend. But from what I heard of 7 basically, you could, at the end game, basically make everyone identical, which is kind of unfortunate. 6, not really. Like, yes and no. Like, to some extent, yes, but in practice, I would say no, especially because, 6 is weird because, like, the magic is, like, the big focus on that. But also, like, I was just thinking about how I never almost used summons, because of how varied they are in the menu. I don't think I've ever, used many summons in that game, unfortunately. Which is weird because most of the other games I did. But most of the other games I played had a summoner class, too. Like, 9 has a summoner class, 10 has a summoner class, 5 has a summoner class, I guess. No, and then yeah, 4. So yeah, 6 is the only one with no, of the ones I played up until this point. I don't even know if this game, I don't know what the first game to have summons is then, because I don't know if there's summons in this game. Maybe it's 4. But yeah, I guess this is the only game, or 6 is the only game where I didn't have a summon class. So that also probably is why I didn't use it much. 10 does have that in post-game. No, we gotta use Blizzard on these guys. These guys are like, it's kind of scary, honestly. They're also really, like, again, I said how the NES games have smaller enemy sprites than some of the SNES ones, but then you have these guys. These guys are massive. This is the problem, is these guys require magic. They don't require magic, but they kind of do. Yeah, every character in 6 can summon, that's the problem. Is if everyone can summon, no one can summon. The one thing with, like, increasing my levels, not that it's that much, but the one thing with getting stronger Blizzard and stronger Thunder is that it is costing more as I level them up. Alright, got another Thunder level up. Getting more magic is certainly good. I mean, Layla doesn't necessarily matter, considering that I can't imagine she's going to stick with us for too long, but... I do have some ethers, though. Hang on, I'm going to turn these off just for a second to get... Okay, I just want to get some scouting here. Monsters. What, are you saying she's Nina? Can I just attack these, or do I have to use magic for these guys? I can definitely just attack them. These guys are actually not that scary. Oh wait, am I not supposed to attack these guys? Am I supposed to get these guys ethers instead? Now I feel bad, I can't tell. They healed me. I don't even know is it like elixirs or something? Is these the pot guys? Like, pre-pot forms? I mean, I guess at this point I'm already screwed, so I might as well just kill them, but... I think I screwed up. They were healing me, I think they were actually good guys. I don't really need the mage's staff. I think I want to go back. Yeah, the one thing I'll say about this game that I've said before is that it does have almost too many encounters, but again, considering people complained about like the fact that you gotta hit yourself, it's like, no, the game. If you hack the game to lower encounters and then complain about being underleveled, that's on you know? I might be able to just attack him now. Again, I don't want to use up all my magic. Alright, we are gonna do this just to... Because what was this way? This is just another chest. No, this is another ladder here. Right, I want to see what the other way was. Plus, I probably need to use another cottage for healing here soon. Try not to turn off encounters all the time, but sometimes it's like, okay, I gotta be exploring here, guys. Usually it's just like as a quick... I mean, it's basically if I would just use warp instead, but... So, I've been watching anime. I watched Witch Hat Atelier, which is pretty good, honestly. I hesitate to say like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever, because I feel like people are overhyping it. I really enjoyed it though, and I'm excited to see more eventually, because I assume there's gonna be several seasons of it. But it was really good. It's got some really good world building. There's none of this isekai nonsense like. Okay, here's the maybe this is a hot take, and I have not watched enough isekai to really be able to confidently say this like 100%. But but I don't like. I watched. I know this is like the people are like, oh, it's a parody, and the thing is, how many of the isekai parodies are actually parodies, and how many of them are just like what? People have said, oh, the vending machine anime is a parody, and Konosuba is a parody, and the Spider anime is a parody, and Eminence of Shadow is a parody, and it's like, okay, at what point, at what point are they not parodies? Because like, if everything's a parody, there's nothing is. Like, you can't. I like how much of it is an excuse for how dumb it is, and not that it's actually a parody, you know? But ignoring that for a second, I watched that show to try to see if I would like it. I did not. But the first episode is basically just all set in the real world before he dies. And if you were to just cut that episode out, you would basically be missing nothing. Like, there's nothing that's in the first episode that matters, because he then dies and gets reincarnated to another world. And the episode's barely about him anyway. It's about another character that witnesses him. So the point of all of this is to say, how many isekai really even need to be isekai? If you were to take out the whole dying thing beforehand, would it really change anything in most of them? Like, you could just do normal world building without it. I think the only reason they exist is for, like, previous knowledge to explain why you have a super smart baby. But, like, I don't know. I think it's a little, like, to me it's very baffling that we just have so many, that so many shows have decided that they have to do this trope. Like, I'm not really sure what made, I guess, like, what made it popular. I guess you could argue, but Sword Art Online isn't even an isekai. Like, I'm not even sure what was the big thing in Japan that made everyone be like, we love isekai. Because now it's everywhere. granted, as much as I'm like, oh, well, it was nice to watch an anime that didn't do these tropes, at the same time, it's not like I've been watching a lot of, you know, isekai anyway. Well, I guess that is the thing, right? People like to self-insert them into it, but I don't get that. Like, it's not a thing I do. Like, I never really got RPing. Like, to some extent I can get it if you're, like, playing, like, with Dungeons and Dragons. Like, you're playing a game, you're acting, kind of, right? But that's not, like, that's not the same as, like, wish fulfillment, right? Like the idea that you are, like, you know, that the game is a power fantasy for you, so it could be like you're living out what you wish you could be. Like, to me, that's just that I don't get that. That's not a concept that will ever be something I truly resonate with, because that's not me. Like, I can't project myself into the game, really. I can't tell if I'm going the wrong way or the right way. Well, that's a dead end. I mean, I guess worst case I leave the dungeon and just have to come back in. I was gonna bring that up, actually, not so much for the isekai aspect, but this is a good segue into that, Vanta. I think they are, I'm pretty sure. So is Digimon, for that matter. And that was the thing with Digimon back in the day, like with the classic isekai, right? That one is they get transported to another world, and like it's the reincarnation that I think that, like, I don't get, because the Digimon, it's the whole thing is that they're in this bizarre world, they have to adapt to it quickly, like this foreign concepts, and like that works. It's no different like going to, like, I guess it's no different like some sci-fi where you're going to a different planet and stuff, right? But the reincarnation thing is where it's like, oh, but actually, like, it's because there's an element of like, oh, well, actually, you, like, now you're better than you were before because you reincarnated, so you have your knowledge, but you have this power that you couldn't have. Like, that to me is what's weird about it. But anyway, yeah, so it has existed before. It's common usage now is newer, but it's existed for a while. But the thing I was thinking about with Ni no Kuni is I'm watching all the Ghibli movies. I probably should play that, right? Because, like, they straight up made I don't have a ton of magic here. They straight up made the animation. Well, this is the... Hang on. Is this... Will this loop around, though, or... No. Okay, I want to see where this went to. Okay. Like, I wonder if I shouldn't do, like, a first look. I don't know if I should commit to playing the whole games. It's not like technically I said I was watching all the Ghibli movies. I'm not watching the TV shows, so, like, it's not like I have to play it. But it would be a good thing to play this year if I'm playing everything else, watching everything else Ghibli, you know? I'm probably gonna have to warp out of here, which is fine. Hopefully, I might need to give Anime Ether again to warp out, but that's fine. I'm a little drowsy. My sleep has been off and my back has been off, and I do think it's the summer for sure, Like, I was like, for a while there in the winter, I was like, oh, you know, I don't have trouble sleeping anymore. And then summer comes around, and it's like, I can't sleep anymore. I keep waking up in mid-sleep. I hate the summer. It's awful. Anyone that claims that they like summer weather has not lived in a place that is humid all the time. Because if I lived in a place that wasn't humid, it probably wouldn't be that bad. But living in a place that's humid, no. It's awful. Armor only given to knights. I mean, I'm not really sure. That takes you up to 48. Honestly, that might be better because your magic interference won't be. Saint Spirit. Did we figure out what that does? No. It's a crystal that maximizes spirit, but I don't know how to use it. Sage's Wisdom, Flame Bow, but I don't have a bow. Okay, so now we want to warp out. Yeah, you do need ether. Oh, wait, did that not... Wait, no. I need... Sorry. Warp is not the one I want. I want teleport. Cottage... Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know much about 2. Well, I know technically there's 3 games because the first game was on DS, and then they like basically remade that game. White Witch is like just a remake of the DS one. I want to save. No, I did not do the dungeon. Well, kind of. I need to go back in the dungeon because I need to go put this egg in the bath. I found the what's it called very fast, the pendant. And then I went to the wyvern and he's like, "Can you go cook this egg for me?" And I'm like, "Okay." But the problem is the dungeon has like one side takes you one place and the other side takes you to the spring. So luckily I went the wrong way first. Well, and I swapped back. Initially I was going the right way. I'm like, I better backtrack. So now we'll be making our way to actually get to the end of the dungeon. Yeah, boil it. I still don't know what the Saint Spirit and stuff does. I assume I will find that out eventually. I mean, this is fine because I probably want my guys to level up more here. The problem is that I need to use magic on these stupid Gigases. There's certain enemies that if you don't use magic, they won't die. Okay. That's fine. Did you learn life too? Yes. But I'm gonna have you use life first. Sid is good. Actually, I guess you should use Cure, huh? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because, like, it's a DS game. I can't tell if I'm, like, doing good or not, stat-wise. Like, that's the one thing is, like, I don't know what my... I'm just kind of... This kind of feels like a little bit how in Pokemon, how you IV, like, you fight certain Pokemon to max your IVs. And I'll be honest, I don't really know how to do that, like, without just... Like, nowadays, you have ways to do it with, like, without, like, you can just use an item or something, but... What am I doing? What are you, my English teacher? I mean, when I'm not fighting Gygases, I seem like I just, like, kill everything, so I'm probably doing okay. I think my problem is I need to drink more water. Typically, water is usually pretty good for you. Many people have said this. And by many people, I mean everyone, almost. Honestly, if I just get her a second good knife, she'll be, like, killing things instantly. Now, if I can only get... I need Leon, because once I get Leon, I'll have my full party. But I assume he's the next character we'll finally get. Okay. I can't tell if this is the way forward or not. Shadow. I think DS was the original first game. Yeah. But, like, White Witch has actual cutscenes by Ghibli, so that's why it's like, oh, well, I probably should just get that then, right? You know... Okay, wait, hang on. Ha! Fuck your bridge! So you gotta go around for that. I'm about halfway through, the Ghibli marathon so far. I gotta write about two. Well, I've written. I need to do a redraft of them. But we're almost to Spirited Away, which isn't quite the halfway point, but is basically the halfway point. I don't think anyone needs Mithril Gloves. Yeah, no, that's actually a good use of that spell. Honestly, usually in games, you just, like, if you fall in a hole, you're just like, well, you're just gonna walk back, but... You could argue, well, what's the point of having, like, if you could just have a spell to just do that, why even have the trap? But it requires you to, one, have taught somebody the spell, and two, think that you can use, like, realize, oh, I can just do this. It requires thinking.